Red Bartsia is a semi-parasitic annual plant which you find in grasslands in Europe and Asia. It's mostly finished now, and it sort of attaches itself to the roots of grasses, and you can see the grass growing around it is a little bit shorter than the rest of the meadow because it's some of its energy is being sapped by this red Bartsia. And here's some that's still flowering, which is these little tiny kind of like little hooded flowers. Really it is almost finished flowering now. But it's kind of interesting little plant. You really don't really notice it unless you look really closely at it. And then it's suddenly, oh, what's that? It's kind of really interesting. But you see it's all like big fat seed pods all forming there now. Now this plant doesn't have a great deal of uses. It's toxic if ingested in large quantities. However, it has been employed for toothache and urinary tract infections. So now the seeds are sort of drying, and you can sort of just shake some seeds out probably. Don't seem to be able to get any out of that, but in theory you should be able to. See, pop one open, there should be some little tiny seeds in there. Maybe. But yeah, they kind of look nice. They sort of add a bit of diversity to a meadow. And you see they're all sort of growing over here. And quite a successful plant. It's one of those plants you don't really notice when you're going to glance across the meadow. They're not particularly bright and colourful, but they are more plentiful than you think. Here's a load of little ones coming up with some flowers, and you can see they're not, even when they're in full flower, they're not particularly bright and colourful. Let's get that grass out of the way. And there's another one there. Yeah, not a great deal of uses. Yeah, but kind of interesting nevertheless.